The Democrats got absolutely eviscerated last night in the midterm elections. They got creamed for the House, for the Senate, and for the governor's races. Now, why is that? Well, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the ads they ran. Keep in mind, these ads are from supposedly close races. They were supposed to be close. The Democrats certainly could have won these seats. This is Allison Lundergan Grimes in Kentucky, Mark Pryor in Arkansas, and Michelle Nunn in Georgia.
Mitch McConnell wants you to think I'm Barack Obama. Mitch is the same guy who thought Duke basketball players were UK, or who's attacking me on coal after doing next to nothing while we've lost thousands of coal jobs. He even said it's not his job to bring jobs to Kentucky.
I'm not Barack Obama. I disagree with him on guns, coal, and the EPA. And Mitch, that's not how you hold a gun. I'm Allison Lundergan Grimes, and I approve this message.
I'm not ashamed to say that I believe in God and I believe in His Word. The Bible teaches us no one has all the answers, only God does, and neither political party is always right. This is my compass, my North Star. It gives me comfort and guidance to do what's best for Arkansas. I'm Mark Pryor, and I approve this message because this is who I am and what I believe.
Have you seen this picture? It's the one David Perdue has used to try and attack me in this campaign. But what he doesn't tell you is that it was taken at an event honoring President Bush, who I worked for as CEO of his Points of Light Foundation. Throughout my career, I've been able to work with Republicans and Democrats, and that's the same approach I'll bring to the U.S. Senate. I'm Michelle Nunn. It's time to put politics aside and do what's best for our country. That's why I approve this message.
Every one of them lost. Maybe it's because you can't tell if they're Democrats or Republicans based on the ad. Why would somebody vote for a Democrat if they're saying, I'm a Republican? Why would you not just vote for the original thing? Why would you not just vote for a Republican? This is the same strategy that has failed over and over and over for the Democrats, but the dumbass strategists keep pushing it anyway. John Kerry is the perfect example of this. John Kerry in 2004, a very beatable George W. Bush, he decided to run as Republican light, and he lost. And we're seeing the same thing. History repeats itself. So here are the three reasons the Democrats got shellacked. Number one, they ran away from Obama. Number two, they ran away from their record and the American people. And number three, they were not aggressive and progressive. If they came out swinging and they were aggressive and progressive, they would have done much better. In fact, the races where you had progressive candidates, they fared better than the ones who were pretending to be centrist, but really they were running as Republican light. So the thing that's so maddening about this is the Republicans are the easiest opponent humanly possible. If you told me to sit down and draw up beatable political candidates, it would just be your run-of-the-mill standard Republican. It would be any of the Republicans. Because in every way, shape, and form, they're disconnected from the American people. The American people don't agree with them on the issues, and it would be so easy to beat them in a race. But the Democrats still managed to screw it up. So here's how you could have won. I want to give the Democrats a clear message. This is very simple, very straightforward, and the whole idea is based on this. Look at the record. Look at the record and look at the numbers. So this is what you say if you're the Democrats. 67,000. People are going to be like, what do you mean 67,000? I don't understand. That's how many people had pre-existing conditions and now they have coverage. How many people did the Republicans give coverage to that had pre-existing conditions? 0. Donut. None. Not a single American. But 67,000 of them because of us, the Democrats. You're welcome. 105 million. It's a big number, right? What does that represent? I don't understand. Well, that's how many people used to have a lifetime cap on their insurance. Now they don't. I got more for you. 1.4 trillion. What's that? What's that? That would be George W. Bush's deficit. Now, what's Obama's deficit? 680 billion. Cut it in half. Why are you not talking about this? Why are you not saying this? Why are you not pointing out factually, hey guys, if you care about these issues, which you do, well, we're empirically doing better. Here's another number for you, 10%. What's that? That's the unemployment left by George W. Bush. What is it now? 5.9%. You're welcome, America. I don't know why you're not repeating these numbers ad nauseum, ad infinitum, until even your strongest opponent, average Joe Republican voter in Mississippi, tells you, okay, I get it. You've said it enough. It was 10%. Now it's 5.9%. I get it. You're better with the economy. I get it. I get it. Can you please stop talking about it now? 10.3 million. What's that? That would be the number of private sector jobs created by socialist Obama. This is what you do. You point out these things. If Obama's a socialist, if Obama loves big government, why did he cut the deficit and give us 10.3 million private sector jobs? Oh, I get it. You're just wrong, Republicans. That's what it is. You are factually incorrect. And guess what? I'm going to say this over and over until the American people are tired of hearing it and they can just regurgitate it to me. I got another number for you. Negative 646,000. Whoa, what's going on? Negative number? And that's a big number. What's happening here? That would be the number of private sector jobs under George W. Bush. That's the loss. It was a loss of 646,000 private sector jobs. Compare the records. Obama and the Democrats, plus 10.3 million. George W. Bush and the Republicans, minus 646,000. Who are you going to vote for, America? You know math, right? You could do math, right? This is how you sell a message. Okay, I got more for you. 17,000. What does that number mean? Well, that is the number of people, according to a Harvard study, who will die because Republican governors won't expand Medicaid under Obamacare. Stop and think about this. The Republicans scream about death panels and how the Democrats want to kill people when there are no death panels and the Democrats don't want to kill people. But they still scream about death panels, right? And they're factually incorrect and they're going way over the top and they're being insane, right? And they ended up winning. Well, why are the Democrats not screaming about the Republican death panels, which are fucking real? Because the Republican governors will not expand Medicaid, which is a provision under Obamacare. 17,000 people are going to die. This is not an opinion. It's a fact. Don't take it up with me. Take it up with Harvard. If you talk about this, if you bring this up in speeches, people are going to know it. They're going to know it, and they're going to vote based off of it. I got another number for you, 9%. What's 9%? That would be the Republican approval rating when they shut down the government just a year ago. Why are you not talking about that? I got one more number for you, 54. What's that? Well, that's the number of times Republicans have tried to repeal Obamacare. And that's why they shut down the government too, because they weren't able to repeal Obamacare. So we're dealing with the party of crybabies and fascists. 9% of the American people wanted them to shut down the government. 9% of the American people liked them when they did that. And they did it anyway. They're like, I don't give a fuck. Whatever. We're dictators. We're tyrants. We override the American people. Why do you hate the American people, Republicans? Why do you not believe in democracy? Why do you like fascism? I'm just curious. This is how you run a campaign. But the best part of the argument is this. You tell the American people, don't vote for us because we're telling you to vote for us. Vote for us because you already want to vote for us. That's not an opinion. That's a fact. 80% of the American people want to raise the minimum wage. We do. They don't. 90% want universal background checks for gun purchases. We do. They don't. 59% want gay marriage. We do, they don't. 81% want immigration reform. We do, they don't. 58% want to legalize or decriminalize weed. We do, they don't. So I just gave you that's it. That's the entire message. That's the entire message. And you don't even need to go through the whole thing. I understand it's a little long, it's a little wordy, and things that are quick and snappy stick with the American people more. Okay, just pick 3 of each. Pick 3 poll numbers, repeat it over and over and over and over and over, and tell the American people, you're with us. I'm just telling you the facts, that you like us and you're going to vote for us. That's just what it is. You agree with us. You don't agree with them. So pick 3 poll numbers and pick 3 of the other numbers. And that's it. That's your entire message. You go out there, you repeat it forever. So you have President Obama make this argument, which they didn't want him to because he has cooties. He's not wildly popular like he was just 2 years ago. He's still more popular than your punk asses, you fucking idiots. He's more popular than you, and you tell him, no, you're going to hurt my campaign. How's he going to hurt your campaign? It's a matter of math. They don't like you as much as they like him. Even if his poll numbers are a little lower than what they used to be, it's irrelevant. They still like him more than they like you dipshits. So you have President Obama make this case, you have Joe Biden make this argument, you bring in Bill Clinton to make this argument, you do stump speeches, you do ground speeches, you do appearances on all the news channels, and you hammer this message home. Not only that, you know who you speak directly to? You speak directly to women. You speak directly to minorities. You speak to black people, you speak to Hispanics, and you speak to young people. I saw the numbers already. 67% of people above the age of 60 voted in this election. Almost all white males in the country voted in this election. Old white males. Okay? You want to know how many people under 30 voted? 30%. This is why we lost. We lost because the progressives said, fucking staying home. Whatever. And they won by a landslide. If the Democrats went out there and they made this case and they spoke specifically to the people who needed to vote for them and they gave the message that I just laid out for you, they would have won by a landslide. We were talking about a permanent Democratic majority just a year ago when the Republicans shut down the government because, like whiny little babies, they didn't get their way and they threw a hissy fit. We were talking about a permanent Democratic majority a year ago, and now the Republicans just absolutely positively swept through. They swept. They have the House is more lopsided in favor of the Republicans than it ever was since 1946. That's how big of a shellacking we're talking about right now. At least 31 Republican governors, overwhelming majority in the country. The Senate already has gone to them, and they're not even done counting up all the races yet. No, this was a terrible failure by the Democrats. And also, let me just say this in closing. This is the argument you should have put out there, and you would have won if you did that, and you were aggressive with it, and you did it for an extended period of time. But you want to know another way that you would get people to vote for you? If you actually did something that would make people want to vote for you. Now, I'm taking things that are decent things, and I'm giving you the numbers and discussing them in a very positive light, okay? If we really want to dive into the nuance, like with the unemployment, for example, well, that's a more complicated picture because you have most of the job creation being low-wage job creation. And there's still a war on the middle class. The American people are still struggling. So I'm giving you the numbers and I'm giving you the argument, but I am being kind to the Democrats and just telling them how to win. Here's how you really could have gotten people excited to vote for you. If you did something that really makes them want to get up and go vote for you. And it's not enough to just say, well, these Republicans are obstructionist. Yeah, they're obstructionist. We know they're obstructionist. But when President Obama, for example, said way before the election, I'm going to do executive orders for immigration. I'm going to do them. And then what happened? He goes, I'm going to wait till after the election. That's what I'll do. I'll wait. So wait a second. You were going to do it and make your base happy, and then you decided, no, I won't. And you pissed off your base, and they didn't come out for you. Well, maybe if you did it, more people would have came out for you. And this is happening with so many other issues, too. I mean, our policy, our foreign policy. Notice I didn't mention that in this message that the Democrats should have used. Why? Because Obama's sucking on foreign policy. He's looking more and more like a Republican every single day. Again, minimum wage. Why have you not already proposed 20 bills, 30 bills. If the Republicans can try to repeal Obamacare 54 times, why can't you try to raise the minimum wage 55 times? And I know, Boehner won't allow a vote on it, yada, yada. Fine. Get him on the record with that, though. Make it a political issue so that when you go on the Sunday shows and he goes on the Sunday shows, you're forcing the host to ask him the question, why are you blocking a vote on the minimum wage? Do you not understand how to play politics? Do you not know that this is how it works? Even with universal background checks. We had Sandy Hook where children were slaughtered. 93% of the American people at the time wanted a universal background check for gun sales. And then the Democrats proposed one bill. It was a watered down background check bill. It got filibustered by the Republicans, even though a majority of the senators voted for it. And what did the Democrats do? They didn't make it a campaign issue, and they didn't bring it up again. I'll say it again. If the Republicans can try to repeal Obamacare 54 times, why can't you try to do the universal background check 55 times? Why can't you one-up them with aggression? Why can't you be strong? Why can't you make this an issue where you could talk about it and go on the Sunday shows and talk about this stuff? They don't do it because they don't know what they're doing. The Democrats are a mess. The Democrats are undisciplined, they're unorganized, and most importantly, they're weak.